Hey everybody, and welcome to the very first defensive streamers recommendations here from the Roto Wizard. It's Evan Tarracciano. It's a pleasure to have you guys aboard. Moving forward with the Waiver Wizard, we're going to touch on some defenses every single week that might be good streaming options for a number of different reasons, including maybe one or two to fade as well. In the article this week, I actually talked about the Arizona Cardinals being an interesting pickup. Keep in mind when you have defenses, you don't necessarily have to simply have the best matchups and that's it. Because if you face off against a team that isn't really capable of moving the ball in the first place, it's going to be somewhat difficult to get turnovers, to get sacks and interceptions and things like that. The Arizona Cardinals, though, they're in a prime spot here. I think that they're facing off against the Los Angeles Rams. The Rams have had a hard time moving the ball, and they really don't have many options that are capable other than Cooper Kupp. But the Cardinals also have the unique capability of generating turnovers, and they lead the league in terms of touchdowns generated off of turnovers, which is a big boon for fantasy purposes. They're only rostered right now in about 12% of leagues, so I think that the Arizona Cardinals are definitely worth considering. This upcoming week, there are a number of teams on bye with top-tier defenses that you might have to either drop or, if you happen to have a backup slot that you could pick up an additional defense on, you could use it on them. Also touched on the Chicago Bears. It's weird because when you think of the Chicago Bears, you think of the drubbing that they just took against the Miami Dolphins, and this is a defense that does allow points. However, sometimes these sorts of defenses are good to roster. Again, it's not always just the matchup and that's it. Regarding the Bears, they actually have the third most interceptions in all of the NFL. So it's, again, not going to be just, hey, I'm playing X team, let me go ahead and add Y defense. Doesn't always quite work that way. The Bears are almost universally unowned. They're owned in about 3% of leagues right now. Detroit's coming into town here, and Detroit's offense is really not a bunch of world beaters. DeAndre Swift is hurt. Their receiving core is decimated. Jared Goff is very turnover prone. So I think that all of these factors combined with the fact that when you take a look at Chicago and their home and road splits, kind of favors them as being an interesting streaming option this upcoming week. A defense that is universally owned, or at least owned in the majority of leagues, that I'm going to fade off a little bit is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Bucs are a widely owned defense. They were projected as one of the top 2 or 3 options coming into the season, and they've struggled, largely in part due to the fact that their offense cannot really get much going at all, so they've been constantly on the field, coupled with the fact that they've had their fair share of injuries. In Week 10, this team faces off against the Seattle Seahawks, and they're capable of winning in both ways. They can just simply punch you in the mouth with Ken Walker, like they've done the last couple weeks in a row, or Geno Smith can also use DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and company to move up and down the field if needed. The Buccaneers, I think, can get a little bit of pressure. It should be a good game, don't get me wrong here, but I'm not really going to want to hold them and stream them against the Seattle offense if I can help it. So I'm going to really seek alternative options there. Best of luck. Hope that the recommendations pan out for you. Enjoy the article. It's going to be up on the site soon, and I look forward to seeing you guys later. Take care.